Archangel Michael says there are moments in life when it becomes important to pause and reflect on the direction you are moving in. Many people spend years focusing only on daily responsibilities, rarely giving themselves the time to step back and think about their deeper goals and possibilities. Yet every so often a message appears that encourages you to look at your life with fresh awareness. These moments are not about urgency or fear. They are about understanding that new opportunities can appear when you begin to see your path more clearly and believe that positive change is possible. Archangel Michael says many people dream about experiencing a miracle in their lives, especially when it comes to improvement in their financial or personal circumstances. But miracles in real life often look different from what people imagine. Instead of appearing suddenly without explanation, they usually come through new ideas, better decisions, and opportunities that open doors to progress. A miracle can be the moment when you realize that you have the ability to change your direction, learn new skills, or approach your future with renewed determination. You may have already experienced times when your life changed because you decided to think differently about your goals. Perhaps you learned something new that helped you grow. Perhaps you recognized an opportunity that once seemed too small to matter. These moments are powerful because they show that progress often begins inside your mindset before it becomes visible in your circumstances. Archangel Michael says hope plays an important role in shaping the future. When people lose hope, they often stop noticing the possibilities around them. But when hope returns, the mind becomes more open to recognizing ideas, solutions, and opportunities. This is why reflection and awareness are so important. When you allow yourself the time to consider your goals and your values, you begin to see how your actions today can influence the future you want to create. Think about the skills and experiences you have already gained throughout your life. Every challenge you faced required you to learn something new about yourself. Each experience added to your understanding of how the world works and how you can move forward more effectively. When you recognize the value of these lessons, you begin to see that your journey has been preparing you for the opportunities that lie ahead. Archangel Michael says financial growth and stability often come through consistent effort and thoughtful decisions. When people develop patience, discipline, and a willingness to learn, they create a foundation that supports long-term progress. This process may not always feel dramatic, but it is often the most reliable path toward meaningful improvement. You may soon find yourself thinking more deeply about the direction you want your life to take. These reflections can inspire new goals or encourage you to explore ideas you once overlooked. When you remain open to learning and improving, you allow opportunities to appear in ways you may not have expected. Archangel Michael says every new stage in life begins with awareness. When you recognize that positive change is possible and commit to pursuing growth, you create the conditions that allow progress to unfold. The important step is believing that your efforts can lead to meaningful results and continuing to move forward with patience and determination. Remember that the future is shaped by the mindset and actions you choose each day. By remaining open to learning, improving your skills, and exploring new possibilities, you gradually create the path that leads to greater opportunities. Archangel Michael says as you continue listening to this message, remember that every meaningful transformation in life begins with a shift in awareness. Many people wait for a dramatic moment that will suddenly change everything, but in reality the most powerful changes often begin quietly within your thoughts and decisions. A new perspective can open doors that once seemed invisible, and a single realization can inspire you to move in a direction you had not considered before. When people begin to see their lives with greater clarity, they also begin to recognize the possibilities that were always present around them. Archangel Michael says hope is one of the most valuable forces guiding personal growth. When hope is strong, it encourages people to keep learning, keep improving, and keep believing that progress is possible even when circumstances feel uncertain. Without hope, opportunities can easily be overlooked because the mind becomes focused only on limitations. But when hope returns, your perspective changes. You start to notice ideas, solutions, and opportunities that once seemed distant. You may have already experienced times when your life improved because you chose to see a situation differently. Perhaps you learned a skill that opened new possibilities, or perhaps you met someone whose advice helped you approach your goals with greater confidence. These moments remind us that growth rarely happens by accident. It develops through curiosity, learning, and the willingness to continue moving forward even when the path ahead is not completely clear. Archangel Michael says financial progress and stability often come from patience and consistent effort. Many people imagine that success arrives instantly, yet the reality is that most lasting achievements are built step by step. Each small decision you make today contributes to the future you are creating. The skills you develop, the knowledge you gain, and the habits you form gradually shape the direction of your life. Think about how much you have already learned through your experiences. Every challenge you faced required you to adapt, to think creatively, and to find ways to continue moving forward. These moments of resilience have strengthened your ability to handle future opportunities and responsibilities. When you recognize the value of these lessons, you begin to see that your journey has been preparing you for the possibilities ahead. Archangel Michael says awareness is the key that allows people to recognize opportunity. When you remain attentive to your environment and open to learning, you begin to see possibilities where others might only see obstacles. Awareness helps you notice trends, ideas, and connections that can guide your decisions. The more you observe your experiences with curiosity, the more insights you gain about how to move forward. You may soon notice new ideas forming in your thoughts about what you want to achieve next. Sometimes these ideas appear during quiet moments when you reflect on your goals or imagine the kind of future you wish to create. These ideas are valuable because they inspire action. Even a small idea can become the beginning of a meaningful project or opportunity when you choose to explore it further. Archangel Michael says progress often begins when people allow themselves to believe that improvement is possible. This belief creates motivation to learn new skills, to explore different opportunities, and to approach challenges with determination rather than hesitation. When your mindset becomes focused on growth, you begin to see each experience as part of a larger journey toward your goals. Your future is not determined by a single moment but by the series of decisions and actions you take each day. By continuing to learn, improve, and remain open to new possibilities, you gradually create a path that leads to meaningful progress. Every step forward adds to the foundation that supports your long-term success. Archangel Michael says continue observing the ideas and inspirations that appear in your life. These moments of insight can guide you toward opportunities that align with your abilities and your aspirations. When you approach life with patience and awareness, you strengthen your ability to recognize the right direction for your journey. Archangel Michael says, as this message continues, it is important to remember that every person's life moves through different seasons of learning, patience, and progress. Sometimes a season feels slow, as if nothing is changing and your efforts are not leading anywhere. During these moments, people often feel discouraged, believing that the future will remain the same as the present. Yet life rarely stays still. Beneath the surface of everyday routines, growth is quietly happening. Your experiences, the lessons you have gained, and the resilience you have developed are all shaping the direction your life will take next. Archangel Michael says one of the most powerful steps a person can take is learning to recognize their own potential. Many people underestimate the abilities they already carry because they focus too much on what they have not yet achieved. But when you pause and look at your journey honestly, you may realize how much. For a sudden breakthrough that will instantly change everything. Yet true transformation rarely arrives all at once. Instead, it develops gradually through the small choices you make every day. Each decision to learn something new, to improve your mindset, or to move forward despite uncertainty becomes a step that shapes the future you are building. Sometimes people feel as though their progress is invisible. They work hard, they try to remain hopeful, yet the results they expect do not appear immediately. During those times it can feel as if their efforts are unnoticed or unimportant. But growth often happens quietly. Just like a seed growing beneath the soil, change is taking place even when it cannot yet be seen. Every experience, every lesson, and every challenge you overcome strengthens the foundation of the life you are creating. Archangel Michael says the power of patience is often underestimated. In a world where everything moves quickly, people expect success to appear instantly. But patience allows wisdom to develop. It gives you the ability to observe your path carefully, to learn from every situation, and to make thoughtful decisions about where you want your life to go next. Patience is not simply waiting, it is trusting that the effort you invest today will eventually create results that matter. Think about the moments in your life when you discovered something valuable about yourself. Perhaps you realized you were capable of more than you once believed. Maybe you learned that your determination was stronger than your doubts. These realizations are powerful because they remind you that your abilities continue to grow. The person you are today is already stronger and wiser than the person you were in the past. Archangel Michael says clarity often arrives when people pause and reflect on their journey. Reflection helps you understand which paths brought positive results and which lessons helped you develop resilience. When you reflect with honesty and patience, you begin to see patterns that guide your decisions. You recognize the habits and choices that support your goals and the ones that may need to change. Another important part of growth is learning to value your time and energy. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. When you focus your energy on meaningful goals and positive influences, you strengthen your ability to create progress. The ideas you choose to explore, the people you surround yourself with, and the actions you take each day all contribute to shaping your future. Archangel Michael says opportunity often appears when people are prepared to recognize it. Preparation does not mean having every answer. It means remaining curious, learning continuously, and staying open to new possibilities. When you approach life with curiosity, you discover insights that inspire new directions and creative solutions. There may be moments ahead when you feel inspired to explore new opportunities or develop skills that once seemed unfamiliar. These moments of inspiration are valuable because they encourage movement and growth. Even a small step toward learning something new can lead to opportunities that expand your understanding and confidence. Archangel Michael says, remember that progress is not measured only by large achievements. It is also reflected in the daily improvements you make within yourself. The patience you practice, the knowledge you gain, and the courage you develop are all forms of progress. When you appreciate these improvements, you strengthen your motivation to continue moving forward. As your awareness grows, you may begin to see your future with greater clarity. You may recognize that your journey has always been preparing you for new possibilities. Every lesson you learned has contributed to the perspective you now carry. With that perspective, you are able to make wiser decisions and pursue goals that truly matter to you. Archangel Michael says your story is still unfolding, and the chapters ahead are shaped by the mindset you choose today. When you approach life with determination, patience, and hope, you open the door to progress that once seemed distant. The journey forward may include challenges, but it will also include opportunities for discovery and growth. If this message resonates with you, comment, "I am ready for growth and new opportunities." Like this video if you believe patience and determination can transform your future, and subscribe if you want to continue hearing messages that encourage reflection, hope, and personal progress.